Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Loud Whispers podcast. This is episode 3, and I am Zach. Welcome back. And I'm, of course, joined here by Rafa and Alex. How are you guys?
Woo-hoo. I am fabulous.
Fabulous.
Even better, yeah.
Yes, you are.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Loud Whispers podcast.
Yes.
Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. What's been going on, guys?
Listen, everything and nothing at the same time.
Everything, everywhere, all at
I've been
once.
watching. We finished White Lotus.
Yes.
We finished season 3.
Incredible.
Yeah, it was a really. Honestly, I loved it. I thought it was a really good one. A lot of people didn't. I liked it.
I unfortunately have not watched it.
Listen, I have one complaint about White Lotus. The music. I miss the. I miss it. I miss the voices. Okay, it's not a part of the intro music.
I know,
for
it was
season
different.
3.
Wait a second. I'll be right back. Wait one second.
Wait,
What's going on?
what's up?
Are you all right?
So
Are you good?
Hey.
A few moments later.
We would love to introduce our guest, Miss Loosí Corkscrew. Welcome to the pod.
How y'all doing?
Good.
My compatriots here.
Oh.
See what I did there?
I
See what I
see.
did there? You know.
You
know.
like being a compatriot, heart?
I.
Har, 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 har.
If there's one thing I'm a patriot for, it's you fill in the rest.
Well, welcome to the pod.
Thank you
Miss
for
Loosí.
having me.
Oh
Lovely.
My God. You look amazing.
I just offed that homo Zach in the parking lot, so
Oh, well, someone had to do
Thank
it.
God. Somebody did the deed.
sorry.
How are you feeling today?
I feel great. I feel
Amazing.
great.
You look
know,
great.
Thank you so much. Getting into drag at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
You know, it's always a little jarring, but here we are.
I'm sorry that Alex asked you to go get some Dunkin' earlier.
No, it's totally fine. If there's one thing I bring to
some
this,
coffee.
if there's one thing I bring to this podcast, it is iced coffee.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
so that's
And that's not a euphemism for anything.
no, it's not. It is
literally
a
iced coffee,
reality.
yeah.
We are here in Boston. Dunkin' is our lifeblood.
It's a church.
Listen, America runs on Dunkin'.
Yes.
So please sponsor us, Dunkin'.
Yes.
Thank
hello.
you.
Bring orange. Just
Oh
for
my
you.
God.
Look at
Dunkin',
this.
please.
And the other outfit I brought was pink. So look at that.
Dunkin'.
Watch that, Corey
Dunkin'.
King.
Brand colors.
Dunkin'. I'm going to keep saying Dunkin' because Dunkin'.
Well,
Please.
could you just imagine this driving through a Dunkin' drive-through at 10:30 in the morning?
I would love it.
that poor 17-year-old.
Honestly, it would be like seeing God in the morning. Honestly,
more like
a god
you
of
know.
listen,
like-
listen.
Yeah.
Jaw dropping like.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, we want to have this wonderful time here with Loosí on the pod.
It's gonna be a good time.
And so we are transitioning into our next segment. This is the moment.
This is the moment.
This is the moment.
We're all doing it now.
The moment is a moment in time where we talk about what is actually super relevant in our lives right now. And for me, it's actually our comment section. Our comment section has been incredible. Like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Thank you so much for some of the hate. You
Y'all
know?
are passive aggressive as fuck, and I love it.
I appreciate it. Listen, keep commenting because it helps the algo.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for that. I love the comments that are like, you guys are a bunch of beep. Those are the best.
it really brings me joy when people give us suggestions to like stop talking over each other or things like
What are you
that.
talking
what do you
about?
mean?
Well,
I don't know what
I
you're
have
talking
no
about.
idea what.
Talking over each other. What? Huh?
I don't know what that
So
means.
the comment section in our videos
No, I love
is
it.
insane. Like, thank you everybody that's been creating community alongside
Yes.
with us.
I would like to personally thank the person that taught me what a bookstore is in the comments. That was awesome.
really
I
good.
loved that one. Thank you so much. I still haven't bought the book, so thank you.
No, but honestly, like, thank you for all of the beautiful, wonderful thoughts that you guys are all expressing online.
Yes.
There's a lot of positive community
Yes,
based
yes,
comments.
yes. You know, we were joking a little bit about some of the hate, which happens. That's a part of it. And again, please comment the hate because it helps the algorithm.
Yes.
You know, we'll get our little keyboard warriors to comment back.
Fight over trains in the comments. I don't care.
Please. And it's because you could never.
It takes courage.
It takes courage.
It takes
but
courage.
It does. It helps the algorithm, but it's true. I mean, seeing some of the lovely comments of people who agree with us or just supporting us, and like that's. I mean, to me, that's what keeps us going.
Thank you to everyone who started following us.
Yes.
Who's like decided to join us on this journey and found what we were saying insightful or idiotic enough that you're like, that's what I want on my timeline.
or just plain stupid.
Yeah.
Too. Thank
to
you.
even think that people think anything we're saying is that interesting to like stop on one of our reels or stop on one of our videos. It's really fucking cool. So yeah, thank you all for that.
Hell yeah. So this
following
week, you guys are my moment. So thank you so much for being around and for being here. We love you. We care for you. And we're super thankful that you're here. So keep on commenting and let's continue to create some community together.
That's actually so sweet.
Let's keep these good vibes rolling. I'm going to talk about springtime. The fact that my moment is just it's spring. We're getting a nice toasty above 50-degree weather days. And I feel the dopamine receptors in my brain coming alive.
Wow.
They are back. We're better than ever. We're back from Florida where we spent the winter. Our snowbird dopamine receptors, they're back. They're ready to get going.
Wait, you were in Florida?
No, just my brain.
Oh.
Like the happiness I feel during any time of the year. And so, yeah, my moment is really just that springtime is here. It's been here for about a month, I think.
I can't say the name because that'll probably trigger
It's a
some...
very, very good movie, though. Very good movie.
Very
If you've not seen The
good movie.
Producers,
The Producers.
Any
I love
version.
the
There's
movie musical.
there's a couple different versions. Gene Wilder, he's amazing.
Yeah. The OG one is
Matthew
really nice.
Broderick and
Nathan Lane.
Are just stunning.
But I agree with you. Springtime
Stunning.
is amazing.
Springtime's
I
fun.
am
I
very
love the
thankful.
flurs. I love the triz. I love the lives. I love all of it. All the girlies are out and they're popping.
Yes.
So
Just
that's
driving here. So many people are out and
know.
about walking and just like
I will say it's not
doing
great.
the things.
Not great for my sinuses. Not great for my the flowing of the liquids from my cavities in my brain. But
This segment is brought to you by Flonase.
yes,
just
big
keep
pharma.
saying
Yes.
Flonase.
we could keep saying companies that one of them
Just
will
keep
sponsor
name
us.
dropping
Flonase.
companies.
Yes.
So now we have
Thank you,
Duncan,
Zyrtec.
we have Flonase.
Yeah.
Hang on. Zyrtec, please sponsor us. Thank you.
Brought to you by not that.
Robitussin.
Yeah, there you go. Mucinex. Just keep
Brought to you by
Just
cough
keep-
medicine.
You know, it does make a little so, does do a little something for me, you know.
Yes.
So
Makes you stop coughing.
yeah. It makes me stop Robitussin.
Well,
okay.
that was I do love springtime though. Springtime, the flowers, it's lovely.
Please come for me in the comments. It's okay. I'll enjoy it.
Well, my moment
Yes, Lucy, please share with us, what is your moment this week?
is me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm too much of a Virgo to really like
Wait, me
own the
too.
spotlight like that much where I have to be like, the moment is us.
Well,
It's us. It's the
Girl.
drag community.
that is why I am here as a fellow Virgo to give you your moment.
And that's why I'm here as a Cancer to balance y'all shit out.
Right.
Yeah. So
And
much
hold
water.
us when we cry once a year.
Literally, it's like once a year. That's it. But listen,
know.
when we do cry, it is a big cry.
Oh, it's Niagara Falls.
it
is not full
get ready
Niagara
for it.
Falls. Yeah,
Get
it's
ready
it's
for it.
happening. It's a full day. Like I'm taking the day off.
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
but you are definitely the moment.
Yes.
You
thank
are
you.
the moment today and always. So please tell us about Loosí Corkscrew.
Yeah, Loosí Corkscrew, I mean, was conceived on a cold, dark, rainy night. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I
Are
really
you describing Frankenstein? No.
clock it. No, drag has always been something I've been wanting to do for a very long time. I was always a theater kid. I was always musical and into acting. And I think over the pandemic, as many people, we were stuck inside. So I watched RuPaul's Drag Race, like, start to finish, all the seasons, all the things. And that was one time where I'm a big reality show fan in general. I love all competition reality shows. But this was one that I was like, I could do that. Like, I could do drag. Not necessarily to be on Drag Race, necessarily, but I could do...
But hey,
we're putting it out there.
listen. I
Drag
heard
Race.
recently this whole thing in Portuguese, which is primeiro você começa, depois você melhora. So it's like first you get started and then you get better.
Exactly.
So hey,
Yeah. I think for me starting drag too, I've always been, as a Virgo, very critical of myself, very much so a perfectionist in everything that I do. So even during COVID, yet again, starting off as like a bedroom queen, practicing makeup, there are so many opportunities to get in drag and get on stages and do stuff, but I was waiting for things to be perfect. I was waiting for my makeup to be perfect or to have the perfect outfits or this, that, and the other thing. And then I kind of just came to an epiphany that like all that shit can be perfect and you still can get on stage and trip. Or you still can, have whatever happen. So I kind of had to like really relearn to just let things go.
That's what I wanted to ask you. How do you feel doing drag? Like, what has it taught you about your non-drag?
Oh my
persona? Like
God.
about yourself. What it like has it taught you anything? Have you learned
Oh my
anything?
God. Yeah, like, oh, I might get a little emotional talking about this, honestly, because it really has released it's released the Kraken, so to speak. It's really released such energy and power that I have always had inside myself. Like, I've always, to keep going back to horoscopes, I'm a Leo moon. So I have always really wanted to be the center of attention. I've always really wanted to be in the spotlight, but I've always held myself back from that. Yet again, out of fear of not being perfect or out of fear of what other people think.
well, so let me ask you specifically about that.
Yeah.
How do you deal with the perception of others when you are performing? How is that a factor, for you? Do you think about it? Do you not? How is it when you're, limelight on the stage doing your thing?
And I think both of these questions kind of relate to each other in a way, because I really have had to force myself to not give a fuck. Like, it is always my first instinct to care and to really care about what other people are thinking and care if I'm making people comfortable or not. So I've yet again really had to like relearn all of that. Like, I really had to relearn to just not care, to be proud about what you put out there, even if you make mistakes, to be proud of just like getting up on stage takes a lot in general, and regardless of the medium, whether that be drag, music, acting, regardless, putting yourself up on a stage to be judged by others takes guts, regardless. So I think that has been always something that I have to like put that pride of myself before the concern of what other people think. And even within the drag community, of course, there's a lot of judgment between each other, and there's a lot of.
Do you feel like there's a lot of competition? Is it healthy? Is it, like, how does it feel to be, a performer within the drag community in the greater Boston area?
Yeah, I think there's a healthy competition.
Okay.
I by no means have ever met a drag queen that's like, really out to get you. I don't. We're not.
I don't think you go into it to
and
do that.
Exactly that. Like, I don't think anyone's really going into it to be super judgmental or to be rude to anyone. And yet again, we're also a more club-based scene, so people are just performing at clubs or bars more typically. In other parts of the country where pageantry is more of a thing, where like competition is much more of a thing, then like I think there is a little bit more tension between those performers. But here, where everyone is very supportive, is very, everyone wants to support each other. There are people who will, call some bullshit out or be like, fix your makeup, or they might read you a little bit, but it's typically out of love. It's typically out of humor and wanting everyone to be at their best. So I think that for me is, yet again, that's also something I had to kind of learn, as well as I am a very sensitive person by nature. So at first, when people would read or would, say something that I was insecure about, I would feel insecure about that.
Take
and
it
I
to heart.
Yeah, it would hit the heart, and I would like feel a certain type of way about it. So I had to learn to like just not be so sensitive about those things.
Not give a shit.
Yeah, literally not give a shit.
Literally.
Develop a tougher skin. And I think that develops a tougher skin in general.
It comes with the exposure.
Yes. Yeah. When you, yet again, I think we all build a shell around ourselves. We all build from our past traumas or our past life experiences. Like, we all have reasons why we build a wall. And many people will debate that, like, putting on drag in general is a mask or a wall that you put on. But I would almost argue the opposite, that it has kind of broken down a lot of those walls that I've built up for myself.
Do you feel like performing in drag, that is another side of you? That is, like what part of you is drag? What, is it all you?
Yeah.
Like, how do you see that,
That's a good question. I think it is definitely, yet again, that part of me that I've always been afraid to put out there because I know there's a lot of power in there. I know that there's a lot of, like, I know there's a lot of power, and I know there's a lot of, like, things within me that I've always swallowed for fear, yet again, to make other people comfortable and to make other people to seem palatable. And
at least from my perspective of drag queens, it feels like drag queens very much step into this power of, like, I am here.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
Like it or not.
Exactly.
And I love that. I love that because it is courageous. It is powerful. This is it.
Yeah, and I think, to kind of go back to your question, Alex, of, like, what it's given me outside of drag or in my everyday life, it's exactly that too, though, of, like, being able to just stand in my power and be proud of who I am regardless of what I look like. Like, I am a thicker guy. So, especially in the Boston gay scene, there's a lot of... I'm a thick gal. But there's a lot of, like, muscle twinks. And, like, if you don't look like that, you are not deemed as attractive. So I've always been a thick girl. I've always had a little bit more curve and swerve on me. And I have felt so insecure about that for years and years and years. And I've tried to diet and tried to work out and, like, all this stuff, and not had necessarily the healthiest relationship with that.
Have you tried? I've heard of this new thing called the substance.
Oh,
Have you heard of that?
yeah. I'd love to try that, actually. Yeah, I just saw a movie about that.
Wait, that's what you take. That's
Wait.
why Zach's not here.
Right.
It's not, it's
Oh.
Lucy's week. Okay,
Oh,
perfect.
it's Lucy's week.
It's
That's
Lucy's
why.
week.
Right.
Got
Okay,
it.
beautiful.
That makes perfect
Yeah,
sense.
Zach is in some back room.
Some back
Yes.
room with his back cut open.
Looking like a puddle.
Sorry,
Yeah.
spoilers if you've not seen the substance. But Zach, I'd love to ask a little bit about your creative process.
Yeah.
Such as, could you walk us through your experience? What does it look like when you're preparing for a performance? What does it look like? It can be like a new performance you're putting up. It can be just like an old classic that you're very comfortable doing. Like, for somebody that maybe has no idea like what a drag queen does, maybe their only perception they see is from maybe a very limited scope.
Yeah.
A skewed perspective.
Maybe perhaps a skewed or a biased perspective. How would you explain to them, just like, this is what I do, this is what an evening looks like going to a drag show?
Yeah, I mean, that's such a good question. And I think, to your point, so many people get their drag references or get their drag knowledge from Drag Race or from, Dragula or TV shows that only show, like you said, a small scope of what drag is or different types of drag.
But I also think on the other side of that, people that even don't watch Drag Race, they see maybe on specific networks talking about drag queens in a very negative or specific light that is just the furthest thing from the truth from my experience. So
I think it all starts with kind of, what is the intention of the performance? What is the intent? Like, what is the context of the performance? So, are you performing at Jacques Cabaret, which is more of like people are sitting down? It's a little bit more free to kind of do whatever the hell you want. Or are you performing at like a nightclub where it should be a little bit more dancey and upbeat and stuff like that? So, always and some shows have a theme. So, sticking with certain themes, or, they might have a particular artist that they're highlighting, so sticking with that artist or sticking with that theme kind of always comes first for me. But it's always the intention of the performance and kind of what I'm also feeling in the moment. If I'm feeling a little bit more sad and then I want to get like more of a message across to people, perhaps I'll do a ballad and I'll think of the songs that have meaning to me. I think the biggest thing behind, and I think most drag artists would agree with this, is that if you love what you are doing, if you love what you're performing and putting on stage, the audience will respond to it. The audience will always love it. If you are comfortable and having fun up on stage, like, they will usually go up for it.
You got to sell it.
Yeah, you have to
absolutely.
sell, like, even if you know, there's been times where I've done a performance that I'm not like the most confident about, but or a song that I'm not the most confident about, but I still go up there and sell it as best as I can.
And there are different performances as well, because I've seen drag queens even do stand-up routines.
I mean, stand up. I mean, most often people are doing a lip sync number.
Yeah.
So they'll take like, you know, 1 or 2 songs, maybe 3 songs. They'll kind of, you know, put them in a mix together and go lip sync. But people live sing. I live sing in some of my shows. Stand up, you know, I've seen people do like actual clowning, magic. There's people who do like their own music and production. So it really depends on the artist you are. I think, yet again, for me, I do more so either lip sync mixes. So I will get, pull a song or 2. Typically, I like to do a song full out that I really love. So if I'm doing a Celine Dion number, I'm doing that full 5-minute Celine Dion number.
But of course,
you know, with all the things. But, you know, some people will mix in different things, or, you know, they'll give it an ebb and a flow. Some people will do spoken word, so they'll like do spoken word mixes and put like monologues from movies or whatever in their mixes as well. So that's, you know, everyone has like a different way of how they mix and how they do those kind of things, and how they produce their own performances. And then after that comes the aesthetic thing for me. So I'm always a performance-based person first. I always focus a lot more on the performance than I do the aesthetic piece. I think it might be the other way around for some performers, which is fine. But I think for me, the performance always comes first. I always want to make sure my intention is clear and that like whatever emotion the song or the mix is trying to express, that I'm able to express that. And then I focus on, okay, what is my outfit going to look like?
Speaking, who are your inspirations? Drag inspirations?
Well, I think I'm a big theater queen, so any kind of like theatrical moment. I love Bette Midler, Patti LuPone.
Patty!
Hello, like any of those kind of classic divas. But like Audra McDonald is also having her fucking resurgence on Broadway right now.
5 years.
So like all these Broadway queens and legends like really do inspire me. Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, of course.
Adele Dazeem.
Adele Dazeem.
Sorry, Adele Dazeem. But speaking
Adele
of
Dazeem, if you'd like to come on the podcast
yeah, please.
anytime.
Speaking of Adele too, I also love Adele. Celine, I mentioned. I also am a big.
I see the Adele in your. In your
I do a lot of
persona.
a lot of Adele. I also am very inspired by 80s. I think in my aesthetic a lot.
Cindy.
So Cyndi Lauper,
Miss Lauper.
Tina Turner, Whitney,
Kate Bush. All those girls.
Pink or not Pink. Oh my gosh. Yes, Pink. Blondie, love Pink,
But you're not from the 80s, yeah.
But the 80s definitely inspires me. But I think the women in my life really inspire me too. So of course my mother, but both of my grandmothers, like I take a lot of inspiration from. They are no longer on this earth, but they reside within me every single day. My grandmother on my nana on my mom's side, she was a hairdresser and a salonist. She owned her own salon. And then my grandmother on my dad's side, my Omi, we called her, she had a reupholstery business and interior decorating business. So she was brilliant with a sewing machine, and
So you're a product of hairstylist and interior designers, and we wonder why you're the way you are.
That's meant to be a drag queen. So I definitely like, you know.
But that's so beautiful that like you're honoring your ancestors in that way.
Absolutely.
You're honoring your family in that way.
Yeah.
You know, because it came up through your family. You know, these gifts, these talents, and now you're utilizing those same gifts and talents to show the rest of the world, hey, you know, we have this internal power, we have this beauty inside of us. No matter what the outside might look like, there is beauty in all of it, and it's wonderful.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think, yet again, I think both of my grandmothers had such power within them. They were such badass women, both business owners in the 70s and 80s, like both running shit, had 5 children apiece, like, and doing all that, and we're just so...
They didn't have TV back then.
They were just incredible women. And, like, that's true. But I just take such inspiration from both of them. And, yet again, my mother, of course, as well, is such a strong and independent woman herself, was a businesswoman growing up as well. And I'm very grateful to have parents and family that are supportive of this as well. So I take a lot of inspiration from
take notes, parents. It's
yes.
It's very easy to be kind and accepting.
It's not.
It can be scary, but it's just a perception of.
And it's okay to have questions about it too. Like there are definitely times where my parents have questions where they've come to my drag shows and they've seen another performer, who maybe does something very different than what I do. And they'll ask me questions about it, and we'll have a conversation about it. It's not, as long as you're opening yourself up to having those conversations and being embracing and being, just open-minded, I think that the rest kind of comes in tow. Mm-hmm. I'm very grateful for that. But I also want to illustrate the importance of drag family and like queer family and chosen family in general as well, because I understand that I have so much privilege having the family that I do. And others don't share in that same privilege. And that is why chosen family is so important. That's why drag houses and having people in our community is so important. I think on some TV shows, they illustrate that as a very I don't know how I want to say this, but they kind of illustrate that as like oh, whatever, that's just my good Judy, that's my friend.
Yeah.
But
it might seem maybe a little surface level at times.
Yes,
Sure.
yes, and like that those people kind of help you aesthetically or they help you with stuff, but
it's way more than that.
It's way more than that. Yeah. I mean, truly, some of these families are families for these people, and are the reason why they continue to exist and continue to do drag.
Well, I for a lot of queer people, a lot of times, and this is a sad reality, really, but sometimes families don't fully accept.
Exactly.
Whether it's a drag performer or just someone that has come out as queer, someone that has come out as gay, someone that's come out as trans, and so I think that what you're talking about with the chosen family, that is such a powerful thing for our community, that we rally with each other and we create family. We create communion and community within each other to really help us navigate this world.
Yeah, and I think
that exists.
Yeah, and I think that's to the point we were making earlier about just the drag community in general. Like that is always at the forefront. That this is a community. This is a family first and foremost. Mm-hmm. We can read each other and have fun like siblings do, perhaps, and even get into fights and get into arguments. But at the end of the day, we're still a community and still a family that like need to support each other. Yeah.
Speaking of which, if Loosí could perform with any person, alive or dead, who would it be? Talking about community.
Oh,
who would it be? Yeah, I know. It's a zinger.
Oh, damn. My first inclination is to say Celine Dion. That would just be incredible to sing with her, or just like I would literally just sit there
to breathe the same air.
Yeah. I would literally just like sit there and just be in love. Another person that comes to mind is Alex Newell.
I don't know.
Do you all know? Did you watch
Alex
Glee
Newell?
back in the day?
Yeah.
Unique from Glee, but Alex Newell is a Massachusetts native.
Oh, shout out to Alex Newell.
And they are a
non-binary Massachusetts native.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
And they're a queer icon. They have actually incredible
pull up a picture.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll know by the picture.
Yeah, you might know from the picture. But like insane singer. They were in Shucked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or
absolutely.
still are in Shucked. Yeah. So like fucking incredible.
I didn't know their name.
Yeah. So I would love to perform with Alex Newell too. That's like, And then from like the drag.
Unique Adams.
Yes, yeah, from Glee.
From Lynn.
Yeah.
Girl, you're from Lynn?
One of my former coworkers was in the same community theater with them growing up.
Wow.
And so like they still communicate, I think.
Oh my God, we're in Malden right now. Like Lynn is right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
So if anyone wants to stalk us, that's where we are.
Yeah. So that's they're definitely on my list. And then I think from the drag sphere, there's a lot of amazing drag queens that have gone through Drag Race and stuff like that.
Yeah, who's a drag queen that is
one
like,
of
yes.
my all-time favorites is Latrice Royale, who was on the 4th season of Drag Race and the 4th season of the 1st and 4th season of All Stars Drag Race. And I saw them in Provincetown 2 summers ago, and is just one of the most energetic performers. And this is like Latrice is like 6'4", like big gal, but larger than life personality.
Oh, that's amazing.
And is all about just love and all about just like the community and everything too. So if there's one Drag Race person I would want to share the stage with, it's probably Latrice.
I think that's something that I want to highlight about drag performers is that every time that I have encountered a drag performer, that I've talked to a drag queen, it's always been love. It's always been kindness.
Yeah.
And I am in awe of just this wonderful, vibrant community that has sprouted over the years. Because it's not something that's new.
Hello.
We've all been around for a while here.
Since the beginning of time, believe it or not.
And so, but the resiliency, I think that's something that, for me, it's just like hats off, amazing.
Yeah.
Because to be a drag performer today in this political climate, to fight back the hate, to fight back the lies with love, with kindness, to say that, hey, we all have a seat at the table. That is incredible. That is beautiful.
And I think this goes back to something we talked about in a previous episode, that like joy is resistance, that queer joy in general is resistance. When everyone is against you and tells you to not be who you are, it's the biggest thing you can do to defy them is smile in their face and laugh in their face.
Yeah. It takes away all the power. Like
Exactly.
it strips all its
It's
power.
the most disarming thing for those people, because that's what they want to take away from us. They want to show that we are, demonic, or we're angry, or we're upset at life, or whatever.
And it could be nothing farther from the truth.
And there's nothing farther from the truth. And we, I think that, women deal with a lot of the pinning against each other too. Like we want to pin people against each other.
Yeah, I watched The White Lotus.
Yeah.
I watched White Lotus season 3. I know you haven't, but I have.
I have not.
There's 3 girlies that they.
Yeah,
It's a beautiful. It's a beautiful storyline, but it really shows how women naturally, just and how they're raised, are taught to be competitive against each other, are taught that there's only enough room for one of us at the table, when at the end of the day, I'm just happy to be at the table.
Right. And I think like it's so funny because men are taught to encourage each other and slap each other on the asses and you go get them, and
good game.
Good game. Yeah. Where it's sometimes I think women
Cutthroat.
are put through the opposite thing.
I really do think that it's part of it. It's sort of it's a feature, not a bug, of the patriarchy. And so you have this huge structure that favors men, that favors white, straight, cisgender men. And so to really acknowledge that, to have the awareness that this structure does not favor women, is misogynistic. It is something that, again, there's so many levels and so many tiers to this. But it affects everyone that is not a straight, white, cisgender male.
Absolutely.
And so to really just become aware of that and see that that's a structure that, unfortunately, plagues, our reality, plagues our world. And for us to be able to make it better, for us to be able to exist within, this world and not have to diminish our own light because of someone else's comfort,
Something I say a lot in general of like why I do drag again is if one person comes to my show and leaves with a smile or leaves feeling something, even if that feeling is disgust, I left you feeling something.
Yeah.
I left you feeling some sort of emotion.
Yeah.
And I always want to leave people with something, right? I always want to leave people with something. I want to leave this world, hopefully giving the generation after us something better.
So-
or, that too.
What would you say to somebody who is thinking about starting drag or is maybe nervous, has some reservations, doesn't know where to start? What would be your advice?
Yeah. Rip the Band-Aid. Just fucking go for it.
Just do it.
Just do it. I mean, as cliche as that is, one of the...
As trademarked as that is.
1 second. Nike. Just do it. There we go.
Just do it.
There's another one.
No, but one of the pieces of advice I got from a drag artist before I started was from Corey King, who is on this current season of Drag Race. Hey, Corey, our Duncan Queen. She's a Duncan Queen. But I asked her, she probably wouldn't even remember this. I asked her at a gig out of drag, how did you get started? Or what advice did you give? It's pretty much similar thing. She said, just do it. Just get started. And that really was lived in my head for rent free until I did it. And it's so true. You really just have to not care about all the outside forces. You have to really not care about what you look like or, as long as you like the song that you're going to do or the performance that you're going to give and you enjoy that and you feel comfortable, with that song.
What's your favorite song to do?
Oh, God. Now that's a fucking question.
I know.
So my first drag performance I ever did was to a song called Mama Knows Best by Jessie J. I love Jessie J. And I do a lot of Jessie J songs, and people love that because she's
great lip syncing
and
song, or even just full on singing.
an unappreciated artist. So that was my first drag song. Like I said, I love to do Celine, so I love to do It's All Coming Back to Me Now.
Do you do Adele?
I do Adele.
Nice.
Yeah. So Adele. Rolling in the Deep.
Oh, that's a good
Yeah, I like
one.
doing that. That always gets the crowd. Always gets them going too. And then live singing, I found there is this acoustic version of The One That Got Away by Katy Perry.
Such a good song.
And that song has a lot of meaning to me, and I connect with a lot. And that always brings people to
Do you think
tears.
that song was about her going to space today? And being the one that got away? She went to space today.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, her, Gail King, a bunch of girlies, they went to space, came right back.
I did not know
Nobody
that.
mentioned a fucking thing about it.
I know.
Wow.
Because we're
Because
over
they're
it.
women. They're women. And women belong in the kitchen.
Believe
Jesus.
Believe
Okay.
women. Believe women in space. Believe women in STEM.
I'm just kidding. No, not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, so those are my go-tos.
Yes.
Usually. But
Yeah.
I love anything theater. I've done a version of Ladies Who Lunch from Company. I've done Bette Midler's version of Rose's Turn from the musical Gypsy. That I love doing. I'm a big musical person too. So any sort of power ballad or musical theater thing, I'm very game for.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Lucy so much.
I love Lucy.
You know,
Lucy.
Hey, Lucy.
You got some splaining to do.
and the explaining you got to do is a
Yes.
rapid fire segment
Yes.
we're going to do
Oh,
real quick.
boy.
I have a list of a few quick questions here. You're going to rattle them off first thing off
Let's
your
go.
brain.
Okay.
So here we go.
Jeez.
I guess we kind of already did this one, but go for it. Favorite lip sync song?
It's all coming back to me now. So
Heels or boots?
Heels.
Glitter or rhinestones?
Both.
Worst drag fail?
Ooh. Of mine personally,
TikTok.
I'm sorry. Tripping on stage and almost falling onto a spectator.
Oh, cool.
Almost falling onto.
God, I wish that was me.
Yeah.
Last one item in your makeup bag you can't live without.
Ooh, kimchi white concealer.
Kimchi white
Kimchi
concealer.
chic white concealer. I use that under my eyeballs.
There's
and
another one. Kimchi chic.
Hey, kimchi.
Hey.
Hey, girl.
I love kimchi.
We love kimchi.
Kimchi's great.
And her makeup is always amazing. That and a bold red lipstick.
Ooh.
I always say
We love a bold red lip. Yeah.
the lips and lashes, once I put those on, those are the very last things I do. That is when Loosí comes together. Boots.
And she looks great. She looks slay.
Who, me?
Who, me? Yes, you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well,
Yeah, that was fun.
Listen, it is
you.
time for the swear jar. The swear jar.
if you've been a frequenter of our previous episodes, you know the swear jar is a segment where we come up with random topics and we have to talk about it for about a minute per se. So let's have our guest go first.
Yeah, let's start with Lucy.
Don't mind me sipping my tea.
Ooh, what kind of tea do you got?
Green tea.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I love green tea.
Basic.
Yeah.
Hey,
I love it.
Hey, it's ancient.
Great.
I
What
love
are
green
we talking
tea.
about?
Yeah.
It's been around for ages, okay?
Come on. Lipton. Hey, Lipton. You want to spill the tea?
There's another one. Another one. All right.
Twinnings. That's another. Twinnings.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
yes.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Twinnings?
What's the one with the bear? You know the little sleepy time bear? He's just a little sleepy guy. He just wants to go to sleep after his tea.
Isn't it called Sleepy
Sleepy time?
Is it sleepy time?
I think it's called Sleepy
Sleepy
Time.
Sleepy time.
There we go.
Lucy, what is the most annoying thing about your phone?
It
Go.
being on in general. Like, honestly, I want to convert to a flip phone again. I want to convert to like landlines, honestly. I am like so over having my phone. Yes, we have it on, it's basically our third hand or whatever. But honestly, the phone can go away. I do not need people being able to contact me all the time. I would prefer if we went back to just like the analog texting where you had to 1 2 3 1 2. Like I would way prefer that. Probably the most annoying thing about my phone though is when the alarm goes off in the morning. That really bugs me. That really makes me want to throw my phone.
I was going to say, I really want to throw it across the room in that moment.
Yeah, I wanna throw
Who
it
gave
out
you permission to wake me up?
the motherfucker.
I know it
window.
was me last night.
Yeah, I was
But-
like, I know I did this to myself, but like this is rude. And at this point, aren't you self-sufficient? Are you self-reliant? Like, robots are coming alive, blah blah blah. Like, you should know
They're gaining consciousness.
Yeah, you
Babe,
you
go
have
go get a real job, please.
Right.
Phone.
You freeloader just living in my pocket. Like, hello, my cats at least
Fucking
do
Polly Pocket over here.
They do something for me. They're warm and snuggly. Like, you are not warm, nor are you snuggly.
I have to pay my bills on you. I don't like that.
You need to pay rent.
and I have to pay for you. Yeah,
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you should be paying me.
You live in my house. You don't pay rent. I have to pay for you. What are we doing?
So, honestly,
Sounds like a toxic relationship.
bring
yeah.
back like rotary
Rotary
phones.
phones.
Yes.
And there should be one in like every town.
Yes.
Just one.
Just one.
Honestly, I don't think we were meant to be this interconnected, so it's probably for the best. Like,
I want to go back to just like
If I need to talk to you, I need to call the town.
Yes.
And then the townsperson that is.
and
you
then
know,
they'll send the town crier.
Yes.
Be like,
They're like,
hear ye,
have a
Lucy,
phone
come
call."
hither. Like that
you
is
have
what
a
I
phone
want.
call.
Yeah, that is what I want. Or write me a fucking letter. Like,
Yes.
what happened to
a carrier
I know.
pigeon.
What
I can
happened
do
to
a carrier
writing
pigeon,
letters for
I love
their men
letters.
at war? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want.
Like,
I
when
want
will my
man
husband return from the war?
to
Yeah.
write to me in a cursive script
Yeah.
that I can
Yes.
barely read.
Very cryptic. Yeah.
And then he gets a letter from me in 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Is that so much to ask?
that's what I want.
No, it's not because I write you letters.
Yeah, but you're not at war, so it
Thank
kind of
God.
it's kind of lost the verb.
Jesus,
Yeah.
imagine. Oh my God.
Look, I don't know what to tell you. Like, if you're writing me
what if you
wartime
went off
letters,
to war?
I would write you wartime letters.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
All right.
I think it's
And
hot.
Rafa,
Yes.
Rafa,
Yes.
do your
Yes.
your swear jar?
My
is,
swear jar.
Do you usually achieve the goals you set? Why or why not? Jesus.
Listen, I usually do achieve the goals that I set because I am a Virgo, first and foremost. And so if I write it down, it will be done. Now, the thing about me is that I use my notes app a lot. My notes app is the place. Listen, I use it for everything. I use it for just little scribbles that I need to, or even a shopping list, whatever. It's there. And so for me, if I have a goal, it goes on the notes app. I start there, and then I break it down. I do all the little things that I need to do, and step 1, step 2, step 3. Once I write all of these things down, then for me the goal is a little bit like more achievable. It's a little easier to achieve. Yeah.
Because you're putting it in the universe.
Yes. So yes, I do achieve my goals if I want to. I think that's a big part too.
What's one of your next goals?
My next goals? I'm writing a play right now.
Wow.
Yeah. I've never written a play before, so that's a goal that I've set. I've started writing a play. I have some ideas. I'm not ready to share everything.
You're
just
talking
yet.
out on the pod though. That's like great.
But that's something that I'm doing currently as of right now. I wrote a feature film a while back. That hopefully one day, if you're watching,
If anyone's looking to make a cool, dope immigrant story,
yes,
this is the place.
Yes.
Hit us up. We got
Absolutely.
material.
Oh, I got material for days, bro. For days. So yeah. So as far as goals go, like that, I get dopamine from achieving goals, and that's part of like my Virgo self of like.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, anything for me is a list,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, great.
So you're saying you only feel accomplished in life if you're accomplishing things?
No, not at all. But I get.
But it
joy.
feels fucking good.
No, I get joy from accomplishing things. Okay.
Yeah, that
But
makes
I
sense.
also get joy from like just being at the beach, not doing anything.
yeah.
You know,
That is accomplishing something though.
that's accomplishing self not self help
Self realization.
yeah,
Self-care, and
self care.
You're getting that good
Yes.
vitamin D.
Oh, I love me a good vitamin D.
I know you like the D. Yes.
Love me a good vitamin D.
There's more vitamin D in the springtime.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Do with that what you will.
You learned
Vitamin
something-
D, vitamin P, vitamin M, all the vitamins. I love all the vitamins. Give me the vitamins.
Your Vitamix.
I love eating vitamins. All right, Alex. Can you think of any technology that has only made the world worse? How about a piece of technology that has only made the world better? Go.
That has made the world worse. I think. Honestly, it's the phones. I'm going back to the phones. It's that seems to be a theme, but
It's the damn phone.
I was literally just about to be like, bring it back to phones.
but it's.
As we record the podcast on phones right now.
I guess it's not only made the world worse. Like, there's been a lot of good things, through phone. Like, I think of more impoverished areas of the world. They're more interconnected now. They're able to access more resources, access job opportunities, access each other. The fact that if you decide to go, make a big decision and move to a different country, you don't, you used to, it literally was, you don't know if you're going to see your family ever again. Now it's, my family's on Facebook. I can literally FaceTime with them at any moment. It still sucks, obviously, but it's a lot better than what it used to be. So I guess phones they're not completely bad, but I think the greater effect that they were having, like Lucy mentioned, is this just, I feel like it's made us so cold from each other. Like, in a weird way, in a weird, ironic way, where it was meant to be something that connected us better, it's actually made us all turn inwards a little bit more and isolated us each.
I think it's created community, but it's also isolated us, like,
Well, I think
in
the biggest
real
thing
life.
is that, like, when you're hanging out with your friends, you go out to dinner and everyone's on their fucking phones.
Yeah.
Like, you're meeting in person with people, but you're still so...
There's so much anxiety about, I have to make sure I'm still in tune with what's going on out there. And it's like, okay, but what's going on out there is going to continue happening, even if you are just present in the moment. Which, I mean, that's... I'm the choir's preaching to the choir.
Absolutely.
Like, but then the second part, how about a piece of technology that's only made the world better? I think, honestly, I'm gonna say it. Vaccines. It's a form of technology that has, despite what RFK Jr. says, despite what our government might be saying right now, vaccines are the only way it's the only way to prevent the mass spread of diseases that are completely preventable, like measles, which we are seeing 60 plus cases. Maybe it's even, I think it might be more than that, but we're seeing deaths of children for the first time in decades in the United States because there is such hesitancy and fear surrounding the narrative of vaccines. So I think vaccines, the only thing, it's been nothing but a net positive.
If you think of the polio vaccine, like, it's something that literally, if you got polio, it was a death sentence.
Yeah.
It was.
I think the only way that it's like maybe not made the world better, and it's not even the vaccine's fault, it's that it's created this dialogue of, it's made it complete, like, somehow we politicized just basic health.
Yeah.
And we politicized life-saving vaccines. And it's weird because you see it on both sides. You see it on, people on the far right are anti-vax because, for their own personal reasons. But then you see people that are on the far left, like, I don't know, if you see like crunchy moms and things like that, which are like, I'm all natural. I'm not going to give my child this. Well, I sincerely hope nothing ever happens, where you regret that decision, because I think it's just so silly that we've created this another issue in our world around something that's just so good for us.
Yeah.
Look, I have to show you guys something. Let's see. Where is it? Where is it? Is it on this arm?
No, I think it's
on the other arm. This is
He's just showing off his guns.
The gun.
right there. See that?
Yes.
That's the proof. That's the proof that I'm Brazilian,
South American.
South American, okay?
If you have one of these marks, like this video.
We got vaccines, okay?
Yeah.
We got them. So, and look at that. I'm all right.
Maybe scrap everything, and maybe vaccines weren't completely good.
Well, the swear jar was amazing, but listen, everyone, Loosí, you are here.
Yes.
And we have to go into our come clean moment.
What is this?
Oh, the come clean. Alex, what is the come clean?
This
Please
is my
tell
first
us.
time on this podcast, so I don't.
You've
I
never
don't
done
know.
You're not
before,
ready
no.
to come clean.
Yeah.
So the come clean it's our last segment we're going to do today, and it's just a moment for us to just kind of vent or just speak power to truth about what we are feeling in the moment. It can be something innocuous, like, oh, I don't like that there's 7 trees in my backyard. Or it can be something as serious as the government is using its power to thwart the will of the people. So it's really it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum. Everything's a spectrum. So, Rafa, you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. My
What are you
come
coming clean about?
Listen, I need to come clean this week because I get confused sometimes when speaking multiple languages. Now, I
get confused speaking one language.
Listen, this is gonna sound like, oh, look at him, multiple languages. No. It's a for real thing. Like earlier today, I was telling Alex to mirror the Mac to the TV, and I couldn't remember the name for mirroring in English. So I'm like, espelhamento. And I'm like, no, that's not what I need right now. And it is the most like confusing thing sometimes. It's very like, I know the word, but it's just not coming, And so yeah, it's a lot sometimes. And
I can imagine.
It's just like I'm thankful for all the different languages. It's great, but at the same time, it's like sometimes I just want to say the thing, and I know what the word is, but like it doesn't register.
Yeah.
And so it's like So if anybody watching knows a good tip for
Keeping your lingo in line.
yeah. And to make it even worse, I'm learning. I'm doing Duolingo.
Have you tried unlearning
French.
any languages?
Oh, for French?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which je parle un peu de français.
Oh.
Oui, oui.
Très bien, mais
Oui, poutine.
yes. So like I'm working on my French a little better. I've been working on my Italian as well.
Yeah, I'm Italian and
Parlo un poco
Spanish.
de
Italian, Spanish,
Italiano.
I've been, over the years trying to
Yeah.
perfect, but I can imagine it's hard. I mean,
Yeah.
when you have, the same word in 2 different languages popping up.
You know what it is? It's annoying. That's what it is.
I mean,
It's
I can barely
inconvenient.
speak the one language I know.
Yeah,
It's
So.
just
literally.
annoying. It's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
because then a lot of this is funny, and this is probably my insecurity. I'm like, oh my god, people are gonna think I'm fucking stupid. Like, and I'm like, I'm not stupid. Like, I swear to God, I just don't know what the word
But
is
this
right
is
now.
also such an American thing because obviously in the States here most of us only really know one language. I feel like if you're in Europe, for example,
Oh, it's the norm to speak multiple languages.
know multiple languages all the time. So it's
even
that's
in South
probably
America as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's probably a lot more.
There's hang on. So, what do you call someone that speaks 2 languages?
Bilingual.
What do you call someone that speaks 3 languages?
Trilingual.
Polyglot. Isn't that-
Polyglot. Yeah, it can be a
Yeah,
polyglot.
polyglot,
What do you call
yeah.
someone that speaks 1 language?
American.
Well, yes.
So,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
you know,
Yeah, it's
Can't argue with that one.
unfortunate because yet again, I feel like in a lot of other countries, they bring up their children learning these different languages
Yeah.
from the get.
Yeah.
Where we start taking language courses, in 7th grade, 6th grade, if that. So we're not learning languages nearly as early on as we should be, or as students in other countries are.
and media is such a powerful thing too. So like
that too.
American media, for the millions of reasons, is very prominent and very powerful around the world. So it's something that Marvel movies are in English. Like all these huge epic things that make the huge reverberations around the world tend to be in English.
Right.
And so the thing is, if we saw more media in other languages, I think that would open, especially for Americans, right? I think that would open us to different cultures. Like, we've been seeing that a little bit more. Like, I talked about it in the first episode of I'm Still Here. That was a Brazilian Portuguese movie that played all over the States. I've never experienced, a Brazilian movie here in the States, like watching it in the theaters. So that to me was like, oh, wow, progress,
Right.
So I do feel like Americans are starting to open up. Like we are beginning to see that there is beauty in other cultures and other languages. There are aspects of us that we can understand more about ourselves in other languages.
Absolutely.
Loosí, what is your come clean for this week?
Okay, so I've been in my gym bag recently. I've been in my going to Planet Fitness 4 times a week. Really.
Hey, Planet Fitness. There's another one.
Hello, hi Planet Fitness. Hey, P
Planet
Fit.
Fitness.
Yes.
This podcast is sponsored by Planet Fitness.
Except it's not.
Except
but
it's
it could
not.
be.
We're not yet.
could
You can't just say that if it's not true.
Don't sue us. None of these companies, please sue us. But yeah, I've been in my gym bag, but I've always worked out. I've worked out since I'm 20. I've lifted and all that kind of stuff. I know I don't look like it. I don't need y'all coming for me being like, she's fat, she doesn't lift. But I do. I probably can lift more than you, bitch. But one of my biggest pet peeves at the gym is when these bros are just wearing their socks at the gym while lifting. So it's a thing to when you're squatting or when you're deadlifting, especially with really heavy weights.
Is it for grip? Is that?
Well, no, you want your feet to be flat on the ground so that you have a little bit more stability.
Okay.
Because most sneakers have more of a raised heel, right? So you're not getting as much tension, and you're not getting as much the ability to hit those actual muscles that you're trying to build.
There's actual sneakers for that too.
Well, this is my point. That
Buy the sneakers.
There's Converse. There are Vans. There are those weird shoes with the toes in it. You can get a ballet flat for all I give a fuck. But there's no reason you need to have your dirty ass socks that smell, by the way, because you've been working out for an hour. Exposed on the Planet Fitness gym floor. Now, I get it. If you go to a CrossFit gym, or if you go to a gym that maybe encourages that, that's fine. And there's also I understand there's a lot of science behind why having a flat foot or whatever, why having a barefoot is better for ergonomically. I understand that. It's still sanitarily. No. Please put your motherfucking shoes on. There are also different ways and different methods that you can lift. Let's say you put weighted plates underneath your feet, and then you use that as leverage. So there are different methods and different ways that you can get the same results by keeping your damn shoes on. There is no, especially at the Planet Fitness, that is just nasty work.
We don't need athlete's foot at
That's
the
just
Planet Fitness.
nasty work. It just, you wear and then you'll put on flip flops to go to the showers though.
Literally.
It's just makes no sense.
Oh, it's Simon's feeding time.
Oh, it's the kitty cat's feeding time.
We have an automatic feeder.
But yeah, that's my come clean. I mean, I think in general, when you're at a big public gym like that, just being sanitary, being aware. It's another thing of straight white men being so unaware of other people's needs and being so unaware of just what other people are doing.
Living in a society.
It's
for me, it's you're not aware that like there's other people, and it's just like I'm just gonna do what I want all the time, and that's
regardless of the repercussions.
That's such a privilege, man.
It is such a privilege.
I would love to be
That's
able
the
to
thing is that, like, I wish I was that delusional. I mean, I am delusional. I'm Justin Drake. But I wish I was that, like, non-perceptive of other people.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is just, like, another thing that I'm just so perceptive of what other people are thinking and, like, what other people might react to me. Like, when I'm at the gym, I already know I look like a rotting tomato. I'm so sweaty. I'm already so disgusting. The last thing people want hot. Thank you so much. Hot. The last thing people want to fucking see though is my exposed feet.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing I want to see it too. So please put on at least a ballet flat. Like, come on. Like, there's no reason you can't go and get a little, even like, I will be okay with a hospital sock.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like a changeable sock.
But like,
if you know, they bring up maybe a little towel, I don't know, something to clean or just keep your feet clean. Like, just I don't that's my thing too.
Yeah,
like, I don't understand the hygienic, you know, of like not showering, you know, and
like we all just lived through a pandemic, people. Like, are we really still on
Oh,
like,
babe, we forgot all about that.
I guess
we
so.
forgot all about that. What pandemic?
Yeah,
I don't
guess so.
know.
But that's my complaint.
Well, not to
what's
bring.
yours,
I'm gonna
Alex?
bring it down a little bit, but
okay.
but I think it's needed. It's I have been very shooketh lately. I think that's the best word. Very shooketh about the happenings in this country, in the U.S., in regards to immigration and how we are treating people that we perceive to be non-citizens, quote unquote, even if they're here legally or they have their lawful permanent residence. I've just been seeing story after story of just like horror, honestly, of how some of these people are being treated for the most minute things. Mostly like nothing is what is the reason why these things are happening to them. I think of Mahmoud Khalil, who, you know, was just he was protesting. That's a big thing. He was a protester, and Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, deemed that was a threat to the United States. The same
national security.
The same opinions that we would all hold, that we, you know, a lot of us hold, or that we, you know, feel very strongly about. I think it's a very scary time when we are saying that these people aren't allowed to say these specific things because of the specific label we've put on them, and if they do, then we're able to do whatever the fuck we want to do with them. Because there was just a judge in Louisiana, because they shipped him down to Louisiana, who said that he, you know, was eligible for deportation simply because, without any evidence, simply because Marco Rubio said he has the right as a Secretary of State. So that's number one. Number two, which this is kind of breaking news, I just saw this while we were talking about 10 minutes ago. Right now, the president of El Salvador, his name is Nayib. It's Bukele,
yeah.
Nayib Bukele. He's meeting with Trump right now as we speak, and he just told him that they cannot return Kilmar Abreu Garcia, who is the man that the government actually admits that they wrongfully deported. So they claimed it, they owned up to it, but now they're trying to say there's nothing they can do about it. The Supreme Court ruled that the only responsibility they have is to facilitate, which whatever the fuck that means. That's a vague fucking word.
Right.
But yeah, so basically the president of El Salvador just said that, you know, it was, and I quote, "How can I return him to the U.S.?" Bukele said before asking reporters if he should, quote, smuggle him into the country. And then he said, quote, "I don't have the power to return him to the United States." And I think that is just the most chicken shit thing to say.
I don't have the power.
I think it's cowardice. I think it's an abdication of any semblance of humanity.
Yeah. So Nayib Bukele, like he presents this big strong man persona.
No, you're a pussy.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and he's like, no, we're putting the criminals and and all this stuff, and it's like, brother. Like, and I, in a way, I'm thankful that all this is happening because it's showing a lot of Central and South Americans who this man really is. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, you know, where he chooses to stand, where he draws the line. So in the name of safety, you know, a lot of us will go, oh, no, but, you know, he's doing the right thing. He's putting away the criminals. But who are the criminals?
Well, what I think is really scary is that we've gotten to a point where you can either just point the finger, you can either just say crazy shit, you can, and then people just run with it, and then people get falsely deported from the country.
Yeah.
And then when we say, hey, what you did was fucked up, unconstitutional, illegal, they go, well, that's, out of our hands now.
Now it's out of our hands.
It's like,
yeah.
so you can create the issue, you can create the problem, you can strip this man from his family because they accuse him of being part of a fucking gang.
Exactly.
But then you read this man's story. If you've read his story, you would know that his family fled their home country because their pupusa business was being threatened by the fucking gangs. So I'm sorry if I'm a little heated, but it really just it boils my blood. That we are being run with such incompetence, and specifically speaking to conservatives, I genuinely just want to know, like, where do you get off on this? Like, how do you justify the fact that the government admitted they did something wrong? They took this man, they flew him to a different country, falsely accused him of being part of a gang, and now are refusing to return him. What if that was your brother? What if that was your father? Like, and then I know the whole thing of, well, he wasn't a citizen, yes, but he was legally here. So once we start deciding that certain people, even though they are citizens, are legal, that they no longer have due process, they no longer have constitutional rights, and we've just said, fuck the rights for everybody. Because once one person loses their rights, then none of us have any rights. So I had to really just come clean about the fact that our country is fucking over people who are good people and then refusing to fix their own issues because of their egos.
To be honest with you, I'm not surprised.
That was well said.
Thank you. I'm not surprised at all because it's another brown man. It's another, this country. I was telling Alex this, a few days ago. I love this country. I love this country. This is the country where I met the love of my life. This is the country.
Who's
where
that?
Loosí Corkscrew.
Fuck. I knew it.
It's a secret. But I genuinely do. I love the history, learning the history of this country. I grew up here in Massachusetts, reading about John Adams.
I was going to say, one of our favorite series is the John Adams show with Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti, absolutely.
Fucking incredible.
It's incredible. And listen, if you haven't seen that, please watch it. It's an incredible series. It'll give you a nice little perspective into who one of the founding fathers of this country was.
It really
someone who believed in due process.
He really highlighted how important it is for even those that we view as the most horrendous, disgusting, whatever members of society. They still we're still obligated to provide them with due process because once we say that they can't have it, then we are saying that none of us can have it.
And isn't that one of the cornerstones of Christianity too? Is that even as big of a sinner as you may be, you still deserve
Grace.
be given grace. You still deserve to be able to give a confession and to be able to talk to someone about it, and to see the kind of vitriol and the hypocrisy that is being brought upon by the people who claim to be the most Christian, that claim to gatekeep that Christianity. It's just kind of absurd. Yeah, so I just wanted to add that as well.
I think that we as a country, we are going through a rude awakening right now of
an identity crisis, honestly.
And to be honest, and I don't mean to get too far deep into the weeds of it, but like specifically for white men and white women, you're seeing what black and brown people in this country have been telling you for decades, for ages.
As Lady Gaga says, till it happens to you.
Right.
And
this is just a reminder too. We are all immigrants. We are all
literally.
We are all descendants of immigrants. Unless you are a Native American, your ancestors did not come
indigenous to this land.
Yes.
Then absolutely.
So your point is null.
It's a moot point.
Yeah, exactly.
I would encourage us. Listen, we're here now, so be good stewards. Be good stewards of the land. Be good stewards of what do I mean by start where you're at. Start with your community.
If I'm going to be any good steward, I'm going to be John Stewart.
He's a good steward.
He's a good steward.
But I think I appreciate you saying this, Alex. I think people just need to keep saying these people's names and keep bringing this up and not,
It's so easy to get lost in
and not be quiet
system.
about it either.
Yes.
Like I think everyone is seeing kind of like, oh, if I speak up or if I say something, something is going to happen. But we need to not be afraid of that.
Like-
I think that, in general, it regardless of what your position is on any topic, there is the freedom of speech in this country. Now, we can argue till we're all blue in the face about what that entails, how far, okay? But what these people have been doing is protected by the Constitution of the United States. What is happening now is this argument of, well, they're not citizens.
Well, who makes that determination on who's not a citizen? I think of the movie Civil War. Alex Garland. There's a scene with Jesse Plemons where he's playing like a militant, and they say we're Americans, don't hurt us, blah blah blah.
It's Wagner Motta and Jesse Plemons.
And so they're saying we're on your side, we're Americans, and he looks, and then Jesse Plemons, the militant character, goes, yeah, but what kind of American are you? And for me, when I watched that back then, it felt very timely and it really resonated with me. I know it probably went over a lot of people's heads of just like, oh, that's just a dramatic line. But for me, it was literally the point of the whole movie.
Right.
For me, that was that one line. But yeah, we got to keep saying these people's names. I know we're all pissed at Tesla. I know we're pissed at Elon Musk. Fuck those guys. But at the end of the day, these are real people that are getting caught up in these systems and this injustice.
And families.
Entire families being ripped apart. So I think we just have to keep watching out for each other, care for each other, take care of each other, and keep saying these people's names.
Absolutely.
And on that note, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Loosí.
Thank you guys.
Thank you
this was so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And thank you to our wonderful, lovely audience that sticks with us and watches us and comments and likes and shares.
I'm sure there will be a few spicy takes on these ones too, which I hope so. Please come, please talk. Please have dialogue. That's what we need.
Give us your spicy takes.
We welcome it. We welcome it. I love a spicy take.
I
love
me
a
too.
good spicy take.
Extra spicy.
I'm more of a mild kind of guy.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, until next time, thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
tuning in.
Loosí.
Thank you guys.
We love Loosí.